Hello and welcome back, my orchid friends, and thank you for coming over for a visit. If this is your first time here, welcome to my orchid life. If you are a returning viewer, I do appreciate it. I want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and if you are interested in more orchid content and would like to follow me on my orchid journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and give it a like as well. That is much appreciated. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the rest of my hybrid phalaenopsis. So I recently did a video on the ones that I think are going to spike, might spike, probably won't spike, experiment. So I will link that somewhere over in here somewhere, and you can go and watch that after this. This is just an end of season update on what everyone is doing at the moment, and I'm just going to do phalaenopsis here. First we'll do the hybrids, and then I will cut and we'll come back and we'll do the summer novelties, just kind of see where they're at, and a lot of these summer novelty are kind of new to me. So let's start with Miss Velvet here. So Miss Velvet has been in here since March of this year, 2021. When I put her in, she had these 3 larger leaves. Took her a while, and she did develop this leaf here. It did not get very large, because it is a stress leaf. Well, she's now working on this one, and it is still growing. I still don't see any roots inside this basket, but she is growing roots down into it. Let's see if we can look right there. Do you see that there? I don't expect her to give me any spikes or do anything outside of maybe growing this leaf. I'm hoping for more root growth and vegetative growth over the non-growing season. And for those of you who don't know, I have decided to call winter the non-growing season. So if you hear me refer to non-growing season, I am talking about winter. All right, now let's look at Iris. So Iris is the one that was in bloom for 9 months this year. Recently cut her spike, and the reason I continue to let her bloom and extend her spike was because she is just full of roots. She was continually growing vegetatively, and for those of you who are wondering about this little wanky leaf here, I moved her, forgot about it, and well, it went towards the late. She is working on a new leaf right here, as well as she has this aerial root, plus she's got new roots going down into the pot. Again, don't expect much from her this winter. I will probably repot her in the spring just because she has been in this pot for 2 years. Now we've got kind of a success story. So this is my Harlequin Splash. She's actually a really big orchid. When I purchased her, she's one of the large flowered orchids. However, she's had a little bit of struggles. I'm not sure what happened, but she lost a few leaves, and so I went ahead and cut the spike. Well, since then, she's finally decided to grow this leaf here, and she has some new roots in the pot. I don't want to move her around too much because, like I said, she is kind of recovering. And then this is a no ID phalaenopsis that for a few months did nada, and then she did grow this leaf here. Nope, this is the leaf she had when I bought her in bloom. That's right. Never mind. What she ended up doing was growing some roots right in here, and now she's working on this leaf here. Again, I'm just hoping that she continues with her root growth and vegetative growth, even though the summer and spring and summer are really the growing season for your hybrids, but they will continue to grow. And as I grow in my living room and the temperatures don't quite do that fluctuation as if they were growing outside, hopefully they'll continue to do their thing. And we have some sad news. So my Timothy Christopher crossed with Amadeus. Let's see if we can get that into focus here. There we go. Well, the mama died, produced a keiki. Well, I don't think the keiki's gonna make it either. She's really soft, and I don't think she's gonna make it. I'm gonna keep her, but as you can see, she's really, like, this leaf is just barely hanging on. But I will continue to make sure that I keep the roots that are still in here hydrated, because they are feeding this one, but a lot of them on the top do look dried out, and she does not have her own roots, so she has no way of protecting herself. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it a couple more weeks, and then I'll probably end up chunking her on out. And then we have my phalaenopsis, the gold staff that is in Lucca. And let me move this one out of the way so I don't drip water into her. But she has, so I've put her in here in, I believe it was June. Let me double check here. Yeah, I purchased her in May and I put her in here in June, on the 4th of June of this year, 2021. And she had a decent root system. And now if you look, she's got those roots right there. You can kind of see a little bubbling there. Plus she has roots going in the pot. So she was growing this leaf here, which I did have it kind of tied to keep where it was. And I noticed today that she is working, and I'm not sure if you can even see it, but she's working on another leaf there. So interesting to see what she does over the non-growing season. And our Phalaenopsis schilleriana that I got from Yoshi at Plants and Other Things is now in a lovely orchid top pot. Okay, and she came off of a mount, so she is in large bark, perlite, and a little bit of charcoal. So I do water her probably every 3 days. I take a skewer and just stick it down in there to see if it's dry, just because she did come off of a mount. But I have a new little root. Do you see it? Isn't that cute? And this leaf here is continuing to grow. Unlike our one on the mount, just not faring so well. But this one's doing well. And this one here is probably my pride and joy of my orchid collection. So it is a Phalaenopsis soft clouds. It was given to me as a gift in 2021. And this portion here that you see right here is actually a keiki. And this keiki is just doing beautifully. Just beautifully. She is like a continuous bloomer. If you look, you can see her spent spikes. And if she continues the pattern that she normally does, the next spike should come from this side. And when it's done, she seems to just go in zigzag and just spike in each little leaf joint, which is amazing. I'd love to see her with double spikes, because when she does spike, she produces a fairly long spike with lots and lots of blooms, 8 to 10. The most I've gotten was one with 14. And they are the little flowers, but they're so pretty when they're clustered up. I'm thinking maybe next spring to repot her as well, because she has been in this pot since 2021. And although everything still looks okay, I just want to give her a freshen up. And I'm thinking of training her to go onto a mount. I just think that this on a mount, would be so pretty. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's see, we got that one. And then this one here is my unimpressive, who recently started all of this root growth that you see here. And she does have quite a few roots in the pot as well, excuse me. And she is continuing to, oh my goodness, extend this leaf here. I have air bubbles today, I'm not sure why. And then let's talk about my two loose berries here. This is the loose berry that I got at my local big box store. And it just says Phalaenopsis hybrid, Phalaenopsis loose berry. And it is from the Taida horticultural. And she was in bloom, double spike, just like the one over here. And then she does have roots still in the pot. Those are the ones that she came with. I haven't seen any new root growth, but what she is doing is working on a new leaf here. Usually I find after you cut the spike, it takes them anywhere from 1 to 2 months to kind of get that in their head that they need to start regenerating and working on other things. Then this looseberry is Phalaenopsis looseberry Orchid House, and I got this one from Orchids Limited. And when she came, she had a couple of blooms open, but most of it was just buds. And as you can see, all of the buds have opened. And she looks like she wants to extend her bloom on this one. So I will allow her to do that. This one, she does have a little blast, but she's got more that are trying to come out. Her roots, now this one is an all moss, the other one is in a bark, charcoal, and perlite mix, but she is still doing rather well in here with her roots. I let this moss almost dry completely out, and I do check the weight of the pot, and once, if you pick your pot up and it just jumps up, yes, it is time to water. And then another phalaenopsis soft clouds right here. This is one that I put in a basket back in March of this year. She's not done much since then. She did finish this, she was growing this leaf, and then she finished that one off, and now she's got another little leaf in there, if you can see, coming out. She's put a couple of new roots out. I don't really see any coming out. I don't know that she has a lot of roots in there. I may have to take her out of this and kind of reset her, but I am gonna wait till spring, kind of during the growing season when everything kicks into gear, just to kind of see what she's got in there. Until then, I'll just continue to keep her watered, and maybe she's got more roots in there than I think, and they're just absorbing all the moisture quicker than I am giving it. And then we have our black dots. So I'm calling this a DPTS black dots, and I'm probably going to cut the spike on this because I mean I have one more little bloom here, but I mean one bloom on a, yeah, I'm just going to cut it, let her rest. I've already cut the other spike that she came with, and she's starting to absorb this bottom leaf, which is normal for them to do, but she's doing just fine in her little pot here. Don't expect her to be doing much either. Let me turn her around. And then we have the phalaenopsis that is in the leca here, if you want to look in there. I don't see any roots down in the pot itself, but she does have roots, and I've put some aquarium pebble on top to kind of help keep her a little more steady, but she is working on a new leaf here. So again, probably all she's going to do. I don't expect her to do any spiking or anything like that. And then let's look at our 2 rescues, the 2 of 3 rescues. Actually, where is, here we go. I'm just put her back where she goes just to get her off the table and give us a little more room to move things around. All right. So this one and this one are the 2 other rescues. So this one here is finally getting roots into the pot, and they're starting to wrap around. Like, she's got quite a few. She's got an aerial root that she's working on here. She finished this leaf and this leaf this season, and she is working on a 3rd leaf. So that is good, because for the longest, all she had were these two leaves right here. And then let's see what this one is doing. So this is number 3. This is number 2 right here. So number 2 attempted this leaf here for, again, this is the only thing that she had, and this leaf is never like dehydrated in my care. It was dehydrated at some point because you can see the wrinkles and you can feel them, but since I've had her, this leaf has never dehydrated. It's drooped a little, but it's never dehydrated. But she attempted to grow this leaf here, then she attempted another leaf here, which didn't do anything. This leaf was stuck in there. I pulled that leaf out and in turn broke that leaf. But this is what she has finished off this season. And as of yet, I do not see a new leaf trying to grow in here. But as long as she is continuing to do some root growth, I will be happy with that. This one here is the Phalaenopsis Talsuka date crossed with DTPS Pure Moon. And this is what she's looked like since I cut the spike. And I cut the spike in August. No, I actually cut the spike before August. I got her in March. It doesn't matter. She's just been sitting here like this for months. Either way, I can't remember. But she's, you know, she's just here. So I'm not sure what she plans on doing over the non-growing season. If she produces some roots, that would actually be the best thing for me. Then we have our Phalaenopsis Charming Green Sugar Candy. This is the one with the really cute yellow and pink flowers. So these leaves were droopy for a little bit, and I think the pot that I originally had her in was too shallow, and she felt too spread out. I don't know. Either way it goes, I just took her out of that pot and just stuck her right in here. So I didn't really repot her. I just kind of, well, I guess I did repot her, didn't I? Either way, she has a growing tip here. She's got growing tip here, and she's got a root with a growing tip here. And she's done all that since I put her in this kind of taller, kind of more narrow pot. Does not have any leaf growth as of yet, but I think she might be in the summer blooming type. I have kind of noticed that my phalaenopsis that have brighter leaves tend to bloom in the spring and summer, whereas the ones with the darker leaves are the ones that bloom in the fall and winter. Leave your comment down below if you kind of have the same experience with your hybrids, or is that just me imagining things, you know, because that is possible. This is my Lucky Sun, and the spikes have been cut, and again, she's still doing rather well in here. She's not started any new growth or anything like that. It's only been a couple of weeks since I cut the spikes, and again, with her being a lighter green, I expect her to do her vegetative growth over the winter and then possibly bloom for me in the spring, summer. Again, it's just something I've observed with mine. Let me know if that is kind of what you see with yours too. So I am just going to reach across here on these last few. So this is our Phalaenopsis No ID Deja, the one that was originally put on a seagrass mount and was like, nope, 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 I don't like that. So we put her in this shallower pot, and she is starting this leaf growth, and she does have root growth in the pot as well. And yes, I have my door open, guys. House is open, so you may hear the traffic outside. If I can't edit it out, I'll apologize ahead of time. She's doing pretty good. I don't expect much from her until probably next growing season, just because she has kind of been through quite a bit. All right, and then next we have Miss Wendy. This is the most, oh, she's just so pretty when she's in bloom. I really cannot wait to see her bloom again. So this growing season, she had these 3 larger leaves that you see. She attempted this little leaf here. It's a stress leaf. But then she came back and she's like, let me give you one that's about this long. This one was about the same length. And then this one looks like it's going to be about the same length as well. So she's going to take her time in getting back to her full glory, and I am okay with that. I do definitely want to see her bloom again. She's just absolutely stunning. She's a big, big fowl. Oh, she's just pretty. Sorry, had a little moment there, guys. All right, and then this one is my Phalaenopsis Baby Pink Cloud. It's a no ID. I've given her the name Pink Cloud. But if you can look, she's got roots all in this pot. She's got roots trying to come out of the pot. Her leaves, it's watering day, guys, so I figured since I had them out, I'd talk about them as well. But her leaves are still looking rather well, a little droopy at the moment. And this is the one that had the terminal spike. And for those of you who don't know what a terminal spike is, it's when your flower spike comes out from the dead center of your Phalaenopsis. Once that happens, they're not going to produce any more leaves or anything outside of that. The best you can hope for is either a basal keiki, or in this case, she produced me a keiki off of the spike. This is her first leaf that she grew, and we have this second leaf here, and it's growing, she's growing fairly fast. So I'm hoping by next spring, summer, I have this back in rebloom. And when I can't find a picture, I don't know why I didn't take a picture of her, and I probably did, just can't find it. But oh my goodness, the flowers on that are so delicate and beautiful. So let's look at the little smaller pots here real quick. Again, this is another no ID Phalaenopsis. That this one here, let me just move this out of the way for a second. So this one here had 2 leaves, and they just were drooped for the longest. So I took those leaves off. Once I took the leaves off, this produced, and then now that has produced its own keiki, which is continuing to grow. So we maybe one day we'll be able to see what that is. Isn't it fun to have things and you're like, not sure what that is, I don't remember. So this one here is Pink Lip, again, another no ID. So at the beginning of the growing season, she had this leaf, and this leaf. She has since grown this leaf here, this leaf, and is now working on another leaf. And again, with it being lighter, I don't expect her to bloom this winter. This non-growing season. I do expect blooms from her come the spring. And then this one here is the one that I thought was gone, and I was like, nah, put her in there, see what happens. Both leaves are now producing new leaves. Obviously, they're a lot smaller and it's going to take time, but I think she's on the road to recovery because these have also perked up from when they were really droopy. Hopefully, she continues to do that over the non-growing season. If, I don't expect it, but if there should come a spike on here, I will be cutting it. She's not ready for a spike. And then we have my small harlequin that I had in a different setup with moss and bark. She hardly had any roots from May 2020. And then decided in August of this year, 2021, I was going to just take her out of that mess and put her in here. And so far, I mean, she's still staying, her leaves are actually staying more firm than they were in the other setup. I believe that setup was staying too wet the way I had it. She's not showing signs of any new growth, but she's not showing signs of decline. And even though your orchid doesn't look like it's doing anything, orchids are always doing something, okay? So she may not appear to be doing anything, but she may just be resting. She may be working on roots on the inside that we just can't see. Either way it goes, she's not going downhill, and that's always a good sign. So let's make sure I've touched on all of the ones we have on the table, and I did. All right, so let me get these girls cleared off, and then we will talk about our summer novelty phalaenopsis. I'll be back. Hey guys, so did not realize how long this video was, so I'm going to do the summer phals in a whole separate video. Let me know what you think about the phalaenopsis we just looked at, and I will see you guys in the summer phal update.